So if you are wanting to know how to complete the Luminescent Cavern Bestiary, this is actually going to be a pretty simple, straightforward task. So first things first is we're going to obviously get down here. If you don't know how to get down here, I do have a video on it. So we're going to be firstly starting off by, while we're down here, quickly noting a few things. So you first need to have crab cages if you don't, since some of these are caught with crab cages. So you can get a good amount of these. Now, once you do have crab cages though, that'll make your life way easier, because if you want to come down here with crab cages, because they aren't sold down here and you don't want to be down here without them. So make sure you do buy a ton of them. They are relatively cheap. So the next thing we're going to be doing is noting a few basic mechanics. So with crab cages, I do believe you can actually place down multiple crab cages in one spot. And since they patched like the whole duping placement system, you can collect them and they won't delete the ones around it, meaning, you know, you can just get more value out of the space around you. Now, the next thing to note is for the first part, we're going to be looking at these ones right here. So this is going to be the blue pin Batfish. So this one is going to be, once again, in Luminescent Cavern. It's going to like worm, rainy day, winter, all this good stuff. It is common, so you probably don't really need to worry about any of its preferences. You can just catch it normally. Now, with this though, as you see, largest caught 8 kilograms. You don't need to worry about kilogram weight wise on your rod, so you should be fine. Now, the next one, the Hawaiian Bobtail Squid. So this one is going to be, I believe, also relatively the same, where you can just catch it normally, so you don't really need to worry about anything. Once again, most of these I do believe prefer nighttime, so if you make it nighttime, you'll be set. And then the next one is going to be the Dino whatever, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. So this one is going to, as you see, like weird algae, nighttime, and during the spring. So this one is going to be, once again, really relatively easy to get, but this is going to be one of the ones caught from a crab cage. So we're going to place down a bunch of crab cages. Just literally, you can just sit, place them all in one spot. It really does not matter. And just place down, I would recommend at least like 30 or something during an Aurora event. This will just make sure you can see as many of them like consistently in the same position. And since there isn't much area where you can stand and put down on the water, you want to just put them all in one spot realistically to save as much as you can. All right, so I got a good amount placed down. So we'll sit and wait on all of these ones. As you see, there are a ton. We'll sit and wait on those, but while we go over the next one. So the next one, the blue ribbon eel. So this one is another really simple. You just got to catch it. Now, as you see, you might want to start caring about what its preferences are, since it is going to be more rare. Now, another thing to note is the foggy. This is really consistent with all the higher ones, so I would recommend having a smoke screen totem to make it foggy. So this one is going to like flakes during the foggy weather at night during the autumn season. Once again, if you don't know how to check the weather event, if you don't want to join, like if you're trying to grind this specifically and you only want to join when it's the weather or season or the one you're trying to grind, one of the things you can do is actually join or look at the fish Wikipedia. So on the fish Wikipedia, they'll actually show this stuff. So as you see, the seasons, this one starts, you know, it's currently spring, and say if we're trying to get to the autumn one, this is in 18 hours. So that's a while from now, but something like that is very helpful to check. Now, the next thing to note is you do want to make sure you join during that, but really only during that is necessary. Now, the next one is the Kitefin shark. So this is going to be a bigger one with, as you see, largest caught 270 kilograms. So the bait is going to be squid during foggy night and winter. Now, realistically, the weather, season, whatever, isn't really necessary to care too much about, considering the fact you can consistently pull them. But the next one is going to be the electric blue seahorse. So this is going to be the other one you can get from the crab cages. Now, this is going to be pretty much the same equivalent of, I believe, like the sea mine, you know? So the sea mine, as you might know, is like the mythic from the Desolate Deep that you have to get from a crab cage. This is relatively the same, where you have to get it from that. But once again, it is pretty simple. Foggy weather, bait doesn't matter since you're using a crab cage. So realistically, you just want to make it nighttime with an Aurora and try to get as many beneficial factors as you can. So during spring, especially nighttime Aurora, and then just place down a bunch of crab cages and you should get at least one. Now, the Atolla jellyfish, this is just going to be another caught one. This one is going to be relatively simple. Truffle worm, foggy, night, autumn. Once again, it's not too big, so you don't have to worry about that. It's only mythical, so you can, you know, just simply catch it from normal things such as that. Now, the next one is going to be the Colossal blue dragon. Now, the Colossal blue dragon, this one is actually personally one of the, I would say, easiest exotics to catch, considering how easy it was for me. As you see, 51,000 kg. So you do want to make sure, depending on your rod, I know a lot of people have good rods, like just in general, but one thing to note about catching this, I made a video dedicated specifically to catching it where I actually caught it in the video, but you you want to make sure you have a few steps. So I would recommend having a lot of control. And so for me personally, my favorite rod is the no life rod with controlled enchant on it. That way the bar is really big. It has plenty of luck, you know, all that good stuff. Has the slashing ability and a really big control bar by default. So that'll make it really easy on yourself if you're not obviously too good at catching. Now the next thing, bait wise, I just use seaweed since this will improve resilience and also lure speed being max. Now what I could recommend is something like night shrimp, or that'll improve your luck and all that, and also improve other things. But you can also use some of the bait that you get that is rarer from things like the aquariums. So for me, I get some pretty decent rewards from the aquarium. Those are the things I have. So I can get consistently a lot of really rare bait, like this one right here, like these ones, a lot of really overpowered, specifically rare bait. So you can use things like that, especially to get a lot of that. As you see, we're starting to get some crab cages ready. So we'll sit and open up some of these. As you see, we got that one. And then eventually, you know, we'll probably get the mythic. Now, as a final note, I am going to be giving away the blue electric dragon, or yeah, the blue colossal dragon, wrong name, but I will be giving this away. So if you do want to enter into the giveaway, all you got to do, simply leave a like, comment your Roblox username down below. And once again, as always, we are so close to launching our official macro. That's going to be one of the best macros you can get in general, and especially the fish macro. It'll be super overpowered. It'll work on nearly any device. Make sure you do check out the Discord server. Will be linked in the description under ExoPanda. We're trying to get a bunch of people ready for the beta launch, and make sure you do check that out. But once again, make sure to leave a like if this helped you out, or if you have any other questions, make sure to comment them down below. But I will see you on the next one.